Okay,
I was like, there are like,
no problem.
what my things going on like with respect to office. I would say I was quite busy, so I didn't get chance to do. I'll do some more code like this week.
No problem. So we have completed combinators, pseudo classes, and pseudo elements, right? Combinators, pseudo classes, pseudo elements. These three are very important topics. Am I sharing the screen or not?
Not yet.
Okay. So what I'm saying, we have covered these
So do
three
you want to
things.
like start recording?
Yeah, I have started recording.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. So CSS3 selectors, combinators, pseudo classes, pseudo elements. Important things. Most important things. So whenever you build the websites, these things will help you. These things will help you in easing your work, right? A lot of things would be made simplified because of the combinators and pseudo classes, right? Fine. So next topic, inheritance is what you can say theoretical thing. When you say CSS3 inheritance, just a minute. When you see CSS3 inheritance, some styles are getting inherited. Now, let's open the project. Okay, open the folder, Merge stack. New folder, day 17. Inheritance is not a big deal. And here I can say index.html and app.css. Here HTML5, and we can say CSS3 inheritance, and link rel CSS app.css, correct? Now in this CSS you might have seen, in this CSS you can say paragraph. Let's have a paragraph, lorem ipsum, some random text, and font size. Can you say inherit? What do you mean by this inherit? Inherits. When you say inherit, it will inherit from the parent element. Now, if you see inheritable properties, non-inheritable properties, inherit keyword and overriding the inherited values. So CSS3 inheritance is the mechanism by which certain properties of an element are passed down from its parent to the child elements. That's what the inheritance is. This concept allows you to define styles at the higher level in the HTML hierarchy, and those styles automatically apply to the nested elements, reducing the need to repeat the style definition. Inheritance applies to the properties that have natural hierarchical relationship, such as font styles, text colors, text alignments. However, not all properties are inheritable. Some properties like border, padding, are not inherited, right? And there are certain things, those are inherited. Okay.
Right. So what are those like text color and like styles, right? Text
Correct.
line,
So
basically.
so editor will give you inherit keyword. So whatever is inheritable, right? You will see inherit over here, which means that this is inheritable property. Go to the border.
Oh, okay. Okay. Like whichever property we'll be using, the value times wherever it's applicable, already give inherit. If it's not, it will not give.
No, just a minute. Just a minute. Border inherit, but no. So it's not like that. Remember that it's not like that.
Oh,
Editor gives you suggestion for everything actually, but I think there is a WebStorm editor which gives little bit in smarter way. Border property does not inherit. Now how do you check any property is inheritable or not? Okay, so for that, open the official documentation, CSS3 border. Just a minute. And in the official documentation you may get something related to that. Inherited, no. Can you see this? I'm sorry. If you see here,
yeah.
inherited, no. Right? See here,
Okay.
inherited, no. So this property doesn't inherits. But if you go to the font size, font family, and here you can see inherited, yes. Can you see that? Inherited, yes. Now here you can get which element is getting applied to all the elements and the text. It also applies to double colon first letter, double colon first line. Yesterday we have seen what do you mean by this double colon. Now whenever you come to this official documentation by end of the course, a lot of things would be getting solved for you. Now you got to know what is inherited, right? You got to know, you know the meaning of these two, this and this,
Yes, good on that.
right? So whenever you come to the official documentation, now things would be getting simplified for you. As we progress in the course, these things will start understanding you. But read through, read thoroughly, and with gentle care, you will get to know what's exactly happening over here. Fine. Well, we are talking about inheritance. So when you talk about inheritance, when you talk about inheritance, there are inheritable properties, non-inheritable properties. How to identify? We have seen. Now there is the inherit keyword. So you can explicitly use the inherit keyword to make a property value inherit from its parent element, even if property is not naturally inheritable. You can explicitly use inherit keyword, right, to make property value inherit from its parent element to the child element. Now let's try.
See the like, yeah. But yeah, for inherent keyword, it's mentioned that if you want like all the properties not naturally inherited, we can explicitly make the use of that, right? That's what it's
Just a minute, I am also reading same thing. Even if the property is not naturally inheritable, the meaning of this is something different. Why I have written this? Inherit keyword.
maybe we can try like well.
Yeah, we need, so before trying that thing, you have initial and the unset also. We'll talk about that shortly. Overriding the inherited values, child elements can override the inherited values by specifying new values. Okay, that is something different. But inherit keyword, just a minute. So when you say inherit, I wanted to give you example of the inherit. Just a minute. Okay, let's write the code. We have a paragraph. That is okay. Let's keep that aside. And I have a div inside that. Hey, hi. I can add span. Hey, hi, ABC. Span. How are you? How are you? Now, this is one thing. This is one thing. A, B, C, X, Y, Z. Okay. And let's create some CSS. Say dot red BG or BG red. Not BG red. Text red. Text red. And here we can say text or simply color red. Text green. Green. Blue. Color is blue. Okay, and I will apply this class text red, text green, blue. So let's open it here. Yeah, can you see now? Hey, hi, and the colors of these things are coming from these classes, right? Now, now I will use a span over here, and wherever we have a span, color should be brown. Now can you see this is brown, this is brown, this is brown, right? The colors are brown over here. So whenever there is a span, right, the color, the span color should be XYZ. And for your better understanding, let's add the border also. border.
But okay, for the span, we are not like adding that thing, right? We are directly dependent with, okay, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, can you see here? So this much is the span. Okay. Now what I need to do, what I need to do. So here it's a brown, right? But to the green, I don't want to apply the brown color. So what I can do, text green, I will select text green, and inside that, if you have any span over here, text green, and inside that, if you have any span, the color is inherit. Now see here, at the red color, look at the green color. This is brown, but only this is green. What you have said, inherit from the parent. Who is the parent of this span? Parent of this span is a text green. What text green says, that color should be green. So color would be color. Can you see here? Color is inherited over here. So here you are saying that whatever span is there inside the text green.
Right. So span is across like brown color is defined.
Correct.
But whichever class we have applied example text
Green.
green, I've said there are multiple classes, but we want to specifically call that out if it's a text green only. If there is any child element which is span, inherit the color. So yeah, so if it's like text red, it is not, or text blue, it will not go in that one. Only for a specific class they have applied, and to the child element it will inherit.
Inherit, correct. Child elements means whom? Span. This span. If there is any span, kindly inherit the color. Kindly inherit the color from parent. By default also, if you don't add default color to the span, if you see, the span will by default take color from, span will by default get color from the parent. That is what the inherited span. This is the span, this is the span, this is the span. By
We have defined, right? That's it. Or you have okay, you have okay, got it.
So I have commented this. If I uncomment this, all the spans would be, okay, let's give a black color. All the spans would be in a black color, right? And black border. Black color and what? Black border. Right. But whenever you say something like this, well, do not specifically give the black color, but in this case, inherit from the parent, and parent is what you can say green, and that's why you are getting color. Can you see here?
Right. So the other property of the span will stay as is. We are just overriding
Color.
the border will stay as is because that's the property of the span.
Yeah.
We have defined, but only for a color will go.
Okay, let's see now 1px solid, 1px solid blue. Okay, refresh it. Can you see blue border over here? Blue border over here, and here we can say border inherit, and refresh it. See here, this, okay, let's give some margin margin top 1 em, or instead of this, create the separate color, empty dot empty 5. we can say margin top 1 em, and everywhere apply empty 5, margin top 5, margin top 5, margin top 5. Refresh it. Can you see here, this border, you didn't specify the border over here. So here you have given border blue, right? And the border is getting inherited from here to here.
Okay, initially it was black, we are now.
Yeah. So if you comment this out, refresh it, this border becomes black. Correct? And here if you uncomment it, border would be getting inherited. Okay. Now what we will do, we have given this border is blue. Okay, this border is blue and to the span border is black. Let's comment this out. Let's comment this out. Can you see this border is black? Right? This border is what? Black. So let's comment this out. There won't be any border. And default color would be this black. Sorry, green. By default would be getting inherited. Now, okay, what I wanted to show you. Okay, let's uncomment it. Let's uncomment it. I'm commenting the border. Okay, here. Let's uncomment this also. Text green span. Refresh it. So by default, you have, if you can see, the span color is black. Everywhere this is black, this is black, this is black. So this is black, this is black, this is black. Now if I comment this line, just a minute, if I comment this line, so the span would be getting same background, same color, that is red and XYZ, because by default it is inheriting that color, right? By default it is inheriting that color. Now span we need to add and border see, now by default color is getting inherited. Okay, can you see this? So you didn't write anything specifically. Just remove this thing. You didn't write anything specifically. You getting my point? So here text color is there. Hello?
Okay.
Here what? Text color is green. And that's why span is automatically getting what? Green. Right? But here there is a border. Here there is a border. But span is not getting border automatically.
Because we are having that for a div, not for a span, right?
Yeah. Then same thing about the color also. Same logic is not getting applied for the color. So you didn't give any color to the span. Agree?
Okay.
You didn't give any. We have commented this line.
Oh, okay.
You didn't give any color to the span. Span is having no color. If you see the HTML also, span is having no color over here, right? Still, how it is getting green one? It should come as a black, because you have written it into the span. Agree or not? So green color is for this. Green color can be, hey hi can be green, how are you can be green, but not ABC, because ABC is wrapped inside the span. So whatever green color would be there, that should be applied to the hey hi. And how are you? ABC is wrapped in the span, still it is getting what? Green color. That's what inherited true means. Getting my point? That's what inherited true. But your span is not inheriting this border. That's what inherited false means. Right? And
although inside the element we are inheriting color but not the border.
yeah, and you can inherit any property manually like this. Now see, green border is inherited to this, and that's what the meaning of this thing. Naturally inheritable. I explain you what do you mean by naturally inheritable. Color is naturally inheritable. So again I'm repeating, you do this thing or you don't you don't do this thing. Okay.
Right, color will be get
So color would be automatically naturally getting inherited. You don't need to do any extra efforts for that. If you look at the code, hey hi technically is inside this div, but ABC is not directly inside this div. ABC is inside the span. But there are certain properties, inheritable properties. Those inherit naturally, and non-inheritable properties like border, which will not inherit naturally, but you can inherit them using inherit keyword. That's what we have seen. So here we are saying please inherit from, so here you are applying to the black. So technically all spans would be in the black. Can you see? Other than this would be in the black, but only related to this guy, this would be in a green, because you have written inherit the color, and here inherit the border also. Border is not naturally inheriting, but here we have inherited it like this, and that is the meaning of this line. You got it?
Yes.
Okay. Next part, overriding. Now instead of you to now instead you to inherit or something else, you can change the color also. 1px 1px solid, 1px dotted yellow, right? This is nothing but what your overriding is. Can you see dotted here you have given, correct? Overriding, here you have overridden. So text green has which border? Solid blue. Here you are saying do not inherit it, but override the value of this over here. Got it or not?
Yes. Basically, like whichever the main thing is, we just want to change to something else and we can do that.
Correct. Now there is one value called as unset. Okay. Now let's create another file. So index 02.html. and new file app02.css. HTML5 inheritance 02. So link rel css app02.css. okay, let me open app in this mode. Now here we can have a div class parent lorem ipsum class child. So here we can say dot parent color blue over here. Okay, child you can say color unset. Now if you see parent by color is naturally inheriting property, that's why all you can say blue. Now when you say unset, the unset value in the CSS keyword can be used for resetting the property to its initial value if it inherits from the parent, or to the initial value if doesn't inherit. See, unset means what? It's resetting. It's resetting. If the property is inherited, unset will set to the inherited value. So if this property color is inheriting, and when you use unset, right, unset in this case would be blue over here. Okay, let's use a border 1px solid red, okay, to the div, and here we can say border unset, just to reset the things. Unset is used to what? Reset the things. If the property is not inherited, the unset will set to its initial value. Unset to set to its what? Initial value.
So I'm not getting it.
Yeah, just a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try to give background color red. Just remove the or skip the border, background color unset. Now you are not understanding this, so let's
Right.
add.
So basically, I can see
No, just a
everything
minute.
on parent, right? So
Just a minute. Class, let's do something like this, child, and this is child element. the child element. Now refresh it. Background color unset. Why this is not working? Background color unset. Background color red we are getting.
So here we are just having two independent classes, right?
Correct.
Okay.
No, just a minute. Why it is not working? Let me figure it out first. So this is the interview type question unset. So technically it should revert the color. When you say unset, this would be okay. Border, let's remove the border. Remove the border from here. Background color. Let's give some background color to P. Yellow. This much is yellow. So here we are assigning background color as red. Sets the background color of an element. So if you see on the Mozilla, I'm trying to refer this. The paragraph text is red. Class foo, this is the paragraph. Class bar. Inside a bar, there is a P. Color unset. Is it happening like this? But we directly have dot child.
Yes, sir.
Color should unset.
Dot div, right? So parent dot div or something like that. So
That might,
that one.
this might be the problem, because our content is directly written inside the div. Child
No,
dot,
I'm saying like, can we do like we know, okay, right? Our parent class is parent, okay, right?
yeah.
So if anything under that where we find a div, right?
Selector, you need to use pseudo class over there if you want to do something like that, anything under that. So let's do it for the static thing, and then we can do it for dynamic one. So here parent, this P, inside the child we have child, unset the color. Yeah, see now, if you see here, so what is the default color? If you remove
Yellow.
this part also, if you remove this part, so parent color is blue.
Blue.
Okay.
So
Pa-
my all content
will be in the blue.
as background will be red till like the inside div or P as well.
Correct. Now if I say P over here, and if I say background color, or only color only color black, So every P would be having black color, right? Every P would be having black color. But because, so this would be getting blue. If you see, color of this P is blue. Both the P's are blue because this unset is setting it to the default color, and that default color is inheriting from the parent. That's what the unset keyword says. See here, unset CSS keyword resets the property to the inherited value. See, if the property naturally inherits from the parent and the color is naturally getting inherited from the parent, if you remove this thing, now see what happens.
It should be
Black. It is a black, and because of the background color, and here we can say color white. So if it is inheriting from the parent, the unset CSS keyword resets a property to the inherited value. This is very important. Unset CSS keyword resets the property to its inherited value if the property is naturally inherited from its parent, and to its initial value if not. Whatever the initial value is there, if not, if parent is not inheriting, it will reset to what? Initial value. In other words, it behaves like a inherit keyword in the first case. And when property is inherited, it is behaving like inherit keyword and like the initial keyword in the second case. Now there are three keywords actually: initial, unset, and the inherit. Initial, unset, and the inherit. When you say initial, the initial color, a default color, browser given color, initial CSS keyword applies the initial or the default value of the property to an element. So you can have three things over here: inherit, then initial color is equals to initial, and color is inherit. Three things are there: inherit, initial, and unset. Sorry, three values one child can take: inherit, initial, and what? Unset. Getting my point? So
still like a bit confused.
okay, go ahead.
Like, can we go to like
Code.
code? Okay, so parent we are having what is we are having red,
Yes.
the child we do not have anything. We are just saying unset.
Unset.
So it will be having red as the background.
Yeah, because red has been given.
Right. So as of now, red has been given, right? But
Yeah.
if I not write child itself, right? The class child.
Then by the see,
So by default, it will be having red only, right? So I'm not understanding why RT or like how to unset that thing. Maybe it's like multiple nested things, but I'm not able to understand completely the help.
now see, okay. Now let's not give this thing over here, and if you do unset, it will consider the default value.
Yeah, it should go back to black.
If you see here, internally, who is setting black? This guy is setting black, and this lorem ipsum background color has been set to the white. Remember that. Just a minute. Just remove this. Okay, now to the P we have removed everything. Inside parent there is no color, we have not given any color, and here you are saying background color unset. Background color unset. Now here if you see background color unset, right, so what it will do, it will first check in the parent, if in the parent if any background color is given or not. If given, that color would be applied over here. If background color is not given to the parent element, it will go to the initial state. Initial means default one.
Default state.
Whatever browser gives you, and this is the white, right? So if you give a background color red over here, refresh it, the unset will behave like inherit.
Okay. Okay.
If background
inherit only, then yeah, I'm okay that we are inheriting. I mean, so I just like immediate child, so it will not have like too much thing to offer, because like it will come and child itself, it will go with the red in that case.
correct,
But explicitly, if you want to do it, we can do it.
correct, we can do that also. So
Can we have one more nested like example, in the P, right? Second P, can we add class and then test it?
here,
No, below, like under div, right?
so what can I add over here?
Like we can add one more class and then test this thing with the nested thing. Basically, I'm saying like, can we add class, one more class, and try using the same like unset?
Yeah, just a minute.
Because you're getting my point, right? Because as of now, it's like if we apply, it's fine. If it doesn't apply, even that's like that will work the same. I'm not able to get that unset thing. So example, so if we set something, like example, red will be for parent. Okay, child we can give suppose blue, and in the third one we can give it to something else, right?
So
I
shall I
like
create one
third
more
class.
div here like this?
No, no, no. In the okay, just add in the second para, just add class
Here.
XYZ. No, no, yeah, class, right? Yeah, class XYZ.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and add class here XYZ. Background color unset. Okay, and now give background color to child as blue. Now test it.
It's coming as blue.
Okay, I'm saying like, okay, it should go back to red, right? In this case, or no?
It should go back, it will go to the immediate parent like this.
So why are we using unset in this case? We can use inherent as well, right?
Yeah, just a minute.
So what's the difference? I'm not getting that point.
Yeah, just a minute. I will create one example on this. Okay.
Well, I'm like worried about this because if we don't need to write background color unset in this case,
I
right?
got it. Yeah. So what is your interpretation on the unset?
So as of now, I'm going with like it will behave as inheritance, but I was thinking that okay, actually in my mind, what I'm thinking is like okay, it will not go with the blue, it will
Mm-hmm.
go with the red. Maybe I could be wrong, but that's what I'm thinking, and I'm not able to visualize or like
Yeah.
what's the correct way or how it should behave that I, because in this case I can use inherit. I don't need to use like unset in that case, or I won't be writing anything if I want to just utilize the parents like immediate parents color, right? Color or background color, whatever. That's what maybe I'm not able to understand fully like how it's behaving, but yeah, that's what.
Let us see. Just a minute.
My thought process.
Div we have, paragraph we have, a lorem ipsum random text, and class child. This is child para, and class. Let us see this works or not. app03 dot css. Let's keep this open. Then here we can say dot parent. Let's give background color as red and text color as blue, and padding say 20 pixels. Dot child color unset, background color unset, border 1px, solid black, and padding 10px. Zero 03 dot html. Okay, this should be border. Yeah. So in your case, you are thinking that unset will reset to white, correct?
Yeah, maybe parent, yeah, whatever. So,
Yeah.
like example, we have color and background color, right? We can see now it's blue and red, right? Can you comment like color and background color?
Here?
No, and the child. No, not the bottom, the background. First one. So in this case, still I'm having the same result. So it doesn't making any difference with like this is the part I'm not able to understand. So if I write, it's fine. If I doesn't write, still I'm getting the same output.
Correct. So what we will do, let me create a perfect example and let's see that tomorrow. Is that okay?
Yeah.
So
Even I'll do some like
so I'm also not able to create the perfect example. Let me create it and we will discuss it tomorrow again. Okay?
yep.
Yes. So we'll call it for the day and we'll meet tomorrow with this and the specificity, another topic.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, right.